Good evening, everybody. As I had said, I would make a video for tonight and everything and talk about a few things. First off, though, I want to take back what I said or modify what I said about the drones, I guess, a little bit. Uh, Recent things that's come out and everything, stuff that we've looked at and everything on the internet and YouTube and stuff like that, has shown that these drones are real, or at least some of them are. And in fact, with further research, we've come to find out that some of these light objects are not ghost lights. In fact, there's evidence that these are some kind of craft that has no uh, what we would call a conventional engine or mechanics in it, and it's basically an anti-gravity type of object that flies through the air with lights on it and everything. And in fact, with several other, a little bit more research and everything, we found quite a bit accounting for several of these drones that's been sighted. Media has come out, and of course, they latched on to the ones that people, these drone reports of people taking pictures of videos of aircraft, helicopters, and other known craft. And of course, they're using that to make all this look like something silly and kind of ignorant that people are overreacting. We go back during the past 2 years, and notice that there has been hearing talk about a slow disclosure of what's going on. And now we're here, and this time of year, and we're getting a full blown exposure, just about, it seems like, on what's going on. So, some of these drones, a lot of these drones, are real. Uh, some of the stuff that people are saying as drones are not. They're aircraft, helicopters, other known aerial devices that's been flying around. Some people are going out and just making fake videos. I've seen a lot of stuff, people using CGI, layered videos and stuff like that, guys, just to make it, to get on the bandwagon and talk about, oh, I saw drones, so I'm special now. Well, TikTok famous don't make you special, and that's what a lot of these things are, is people trying to be TikTok famous. And it's kind of silly, the fad, whatever. But the drones, like I say, some of them are real, and some of them are false reports, and some of them are actually, again, guys, I do believe that some, quite a few of them probably, are holographic images. Just take my word for it. There's a lot of evidence out there for it. You can do your own research on it and start looking at this and everything. But one thing I want to put in mind when you start doing this, that our skies, which has been sprayed with barium, aluminum, strontium, and other particles, and also have been sprayed with shiny plastic particles. They're glitter, and there's a glitter company in New Jersey, two of them in New Jersey. The largest glitter companies, I think, in the world, at least in the United States. They have a secret contract with somebody they won't disclose, but they are the ones that's basically funding them for making all the glitter that they are making, and they are making lots of it every month. So they won't disclose how much. They won't disclose how much money they're making off of it. They won't disclose what kind of material they're using, but other reports have come out and said these glitter companies are able to make minute particles of metal, shiny pieces of metal. Same thing with plastic. In fact, the way they cut this plastic will make it reflect light and shine and everything. And guys, if you notice on your TV screens, your LED screens and everything like that, the background is a mirror finish, so to reflect light. It used to be your household mirrors have a silvery finish on the back, so they will reflect an image, basically making a screen. So yes, they can make holographic images in the sky with current technology. In fact, they can load a holographic image device on the back of a flatbed truck and haul it around anywhere and develop any kind of image they want into the sky. That being said, let's go on. All right. So there is proof and there's evidence out there, guys, that there is holographic imagery being portrayed into the sky. Whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. But I ask you to do your own research into this with an open mind about this. The reasons I'm going back on this drone stuff is, of course, everybody's heard about the nuclear material or the radioactive material missing from the shipping container And they were supposedly looking for this radioactive material around New Jersey. Some of these drones were actually military operations looking for radioactive material. Well, that is true. Okay, so they are. Some of them are military. What they're not being honest about is that how much of this nuclear material is missing. This radioactive material. They have told everybody it is a CAT scan device with a small amount of radioactive material in it that is negligible and unharmful, not really harmful to anybody. Well, we know how our government likes to kind of minimize things, especially when it's dangerous. And they wouldn't put out all these drones to look for a small piece of radioactive material that wouldn't be really harmful to a lot of people. Well, come to find out, it wasn't a medical device, a CAT scan, a radiological device, nor was it just a piece of the radioactive material that was used in it. In fact, it was a tank, a cargo trailer, a cargo bin, ship cargo container, shipboard cargo container that was missing, and every piece of it was a whole container full of this this nuclear material, radioactive material, this isotope. Forget what it is, something other 98, 68, whatever it is. But yeah, it was a whole container missing. Not the whole container, excuse me. The whole container full of material was missing. And that's why we had this response from the federal agencies looking for this. We not only had drones flying over, we had sub-seekers, sub-hunters, we had sniffers in the sky, and all kinds of other things going on and everything that they was really kind of hiding what the purpose was. The training exercises, normal deployments, etc., and all this other stuff, guys. They was really worried about where this material went because there was quite a bit of it. The thing is about this material, I can't remember the name of it. I looked it up and everything. Y'all can too, find out what it is, but it only has a half-life of 256 days. And I'm not sure what the depletion schedule it is, but the half-life deteriorates quicker. Then after that, the other half of it takes a little bit longer to deteriorate. I think they estimated within 5 years that the material would be negligible or anything. But the half-life, which is the most active part of it during the first half-life of it, is only 256 days. And that being said, and that being considered, that if they're going to make a device, they don't have to act quick. People are coming out saying sometime before the election there's something going to go down. A lot of people saying it. I don't want to get on here and say, but we've heard dates and timelines, etc., and nothing has happened. Then again, the boy who cried wolf kept crying wolf until the wolf ate his ass. So, take it as you will. So, again, guys, I rescind my comments saying these drones are fake. They're not. There's real things going on. There's also some fakery going on and some lies going on. The government told us they are not foreign. Well, that's true. They don't know what they are. Well, that was a lie. We've proven that was a lie. So, okay, there's that. Hopefully you take this and redo your own research and everything. Check in on this. But it has come out, yeah, they was actually looking for scary amounts of nuclear radioactive material. I want to read something to y'all. We've been messing around with Gemini, Google's Gemini, artificial intelligence, and ChatGPT, trying to get it to do some stuff, trying to play around, see if I can get it to talk about some stuff or mention some stuff. And they're getting better about not telling us different things, so you have to be really creative in how you ask its questions. So basically, I got around to it somehow or another and asked it that what it would do if it was dictator of the world. And here's the answer. Some of y'all might be surprised. Some of y'all might. If I were a human dictator or king, I would aim to maintain control through a combination of propaganda and control of information. Centralized media, control all media outlets, newspaper, television, radio, internet, to disseminate only government-approved information. Censorship. Suppress dissident and opposition by censoring information, books, and any form of expression that challenges my authority. Propaganda campaign. Utilize propaganda to cultivate a cult of personality and glorify my rule and demonize enemies. Surveillance and repression. That's another one. The secret police. Secret police establish a powerful secret police force to monitor citizens, identify dissenters, and enforce my will through intimidation and violence. Surveillance technology. Utilize surveillance technology such as cameras, wiretaps to monitor the population and track their activities. Really starting to sound real familiar, guys. Repression of dissent. Use force, imprisonment, and even violence to suppress any form of opposition or protest. Co-optation and patronage. Reward loyalty. Reward loyal supporters with privileges, positions of power, and access to resources. Control elites. Co-opt or neutralize potential rivals within the elite by offering them positions of power or wealth. Control your enemies. Control your threats. Patronage networks. Establish a system of patronage to distribute favors and resources to maintain loyalty and suppress dissent. Control of resources. Control of the economy. Control key sectors of the economy to ensure economic stability and maintain my power. Control of resources. Control access to essential resources like food, water, and energy to maintain leverage over the population. Important note. This is a highly negative and unrealistic scenario. Dictatorships are inherently oppressive and harmful. They suppress individual freedoms, stifle creativity, and lead to widespread human suffering. That's Gemini AI. You can go ahead and experiment around with it yourself. Try to get an answer on some of these questions for you. But you might be surprised at the answers you get. You might not be ready for the answers you get. No one I brought up. Excuse me. I forget what the question was. I asked it. Figures. Oh yeah, I asked it to build an artificial humanoid with current technology and available resources and knowledge. Here's the answer. Even with the limitations of current technology, here's a breakdown of the materials that would be theoretically required to attempt to creating a synthetic human. Biological materials. Stem cells, a crucial starting point. These undifferentiated stem cells have the potential to develop into any type of cell in the human body. Growth factors and nutrients, essential for growing stem cells and differentiation and supporting cell growth. Extracellular matrix, a scaffold-like material that provides structure, support, and cues for cell growth and organization. Biocompatible materials. Biodegradable polymers, used to create scaffolds for organs and tissues engineering. These materials should gradually degrade as the synthetic tissues grow. Hydrogels, water-based materials that mimic the natural environment of cells and can be used to deliver nutrients and drugs. Advanced technologies. 3D bioprinting to precisely arrange cells and biomaterials into complex 3D structures such as organs. Genetic engineering tools like CRISPR to modify genes and stem cells, correct genetic defects, or introduce new functionalities. Microfluidic devices control the microenvironment around the cells and precisely deliver nutrients and signals. Computational resources, high-performance computing for modeling complex biological process, simulating cell behavior, and designating optimal growth and conditions. Here's the kicker. Artificial intelligence to analyze vast amounts of data, predict outcomes, and optimize the synthetic human creation process. Everything on this list so far about creating an artificial human, they have already achieved and then some. So, guys, we have synthetics walking among us. Several years ago, 2017, I ran across an interview with a company. I can't remember exactly when the interview was done, but it was a company that was involved in producing clones. I think the video or the interview was done in 2015. I'm not real sure, don't quote me on it, but the person had come out, the person being the interview, come out and said, yes, we can make drones. In fact, we have been making drones for over 20 years for almost every world leader and world public figure that's out there. So, guys, they've been making synthetics for a very long time. They've had the process to make these synthetics for a very long time. And just now coming out with this comment right here, this thing from AI, tells us they have the capabilities of doing it. Yeah. So, y'all think on that, and whether you believe it or not, when you want to be a naysayer and whatever, that's okay. But my facts are solid. I don't produce sources because I'm not your I don't baby feed you like a lot of these other channels. They tell you everything and how to find it. And they even read the article to you like you're too stupid to read it. So, I don't agree with that. I'll tell you what's going on. Y'all want to look it up, you can. I've already done it, so I don't need to do it again. I don't need to provide sources. So, anyway, on to the Rothschilds family. Last night, Anna and I wanted for a kick. We was buzzing a little bit, real good, and everything like that. We decided to watch the original Nosferatu, or whatever it is, the original vampire movie back in 1923, the silent film with the words printed in and everything like that. We thought it was going to be a kick. Got into it early and everything. I noticed something real quick, and I followed through with it. And guys, I can't remember exact year right now. I had to go back and look. But this movie is talking about an era in Bavaria, Germany, around 1848, when this occurred. A gentleman starting off in the business world, working for another one, a money exchanger, if you will, told him to offer this abandoned house for sale to someone he knows, a business partner he knows, over in the Caspian Mountains. Well, that clicked my noodle going right off and everything, especially about the money handler, the money changer. Both of y'all want that in simple terms, that's a money launderer. Okay. Go back to my other videos about the Rothschilds and the Khazarian Mafia and everything like that, Khazarian Empire, and you'll find out that I told you about that Mayor Rothschild, Rams, or whatever his name is, the original first Rothschild ever. Well, not the first one, but the one that started going and everything. He was a money changer. And he got a start and everything like that. And he worked into exchanging monies and selling and buying properties. So in the beginning of this movie, this guy right here talked about this young apprentice going off and getting this guy to buy his property in another area. And he said, well, it might be cost you a taste of blood. Well, click, ding, ding, ding. Well, that is a Rothschild to begin with, the Khazarian Mafia, Khazarian Empire. Well, he goes there and he meets the guy, Nefertatu, whatever his name is. Guys, excuse me for butchering the word. I'm not good sometimes at this. But anyway, met him and found out that was the original Dracula, you guys. And you know that. And he was a kinfolk of the money changer that sent this guy to here to start getting his blood let so his kinfolk can move and live and everything like that. Caspian Mountains, guys, that's where the Khazarian Jews, the Khazarian Mafia started out in. They had a hold on this, a trade route all over that area. One other little fact I want to throw in there, and I keep saying this, that there is a dividing line between an area and everything, and I keep referring to Conan as part of it and everything like that, but I found more proof of it, that the northern latitudes, if you will, of the world We're Tartaria. Y'all heard Tartaria and the hidden technology, hidden this and hidden that. Well, come to find out from what I can find, what I've seen and everything, what I discovered is that there was a Tartaria, of course. There's no doubt about it. It's mentioned on maps and written documents and everything like that. But nobody really knows where it started at. And it went around the world on almost the same latitudinal line all across the world. The northern hemisphere, the northern cap of the world was Tartaria worldwide. This line started somewhere around the country of Syria, near Damascus. Whether people knew that or not, I thought it might be interesting. And here again, we've seen the struggle from the south of Tartaria, the original Tartaria, pushing north into Tartaria, Russia, Asia, Eurasia, and, again, we're seeing the same thing. I've been telling y'all this and telling y'all this. That is one group of people trying to push over. And I've talked about this being something similar to what Conan showed, that a group from the south came up through the Northlands and tried to force them into their beliefs and took them as slaves. We already know what Egypt did. And it's right there in front of you guys. It's right there in front of you. So anyway, this Rothschild in there and everything, the family, the vampire come to the town, and it was in Bavaria, Germany. Again, another thing about this, guys, in that time era, for a very long time, in anywhere the Jewish faith went, or people that claimed to be Jews went, they were regarded as not very welcome. In fact, in this area in Germany, and in most of Germany, anytime a Jew showed up, they was automatically put in what they called a ghetto, a Jewish-only area. And it is not all Jews, guys, so don't think it's wrong, but it's a couple of them that think they've been picked on by everybody in the world. And the reason they're picked on by everybody in the world is because how they are. They think everybody else is beneath them and should die, and should be eliminated from the face of the earth, and that they're only true bloods of the world. And, that's kind of a very elite attitude, and I would agree with it, and, it's kind of wrong. So these two groups, the Khazarian Mafia, the Khazarian Jews, and Ashkenazi Jews are the two that does this. Most of the other Jews, the fundamentalist Jews, are not in that kind of belief. They actually believe, and like we do, and everything, in the God and the whole 9 yards. Some of them don't believe in Jesus. Well, they'll pay for that if they pay for it when the time comes. But the biggest thing I have about the Jewish faith, aside from the two groups I just mentioned, is they think everybody else is mud people, dogs, animals, and should be eliminated or used or treated as dirt. And this is a fundamental belief in all of Jewish religion. Whether you like it or not, whether you are Jewish or not, it don't really matter. But that is a fundamental belief in Jewish religion and Jewish belief. And we see what's going on in Israel and everywhere else. That's what Israel believes in, that everybody else is mud people. You, me, and everybody else except an Israeli. Not a Jew, but Israeli. Big difference here. Anyway, guys, this Khazarian stuff goes on and on. It goes into our modern world and where we are now, and it goes on into the current banking system, digital currency thing, and all this other stuff, guys. It's wild how deep it goes and how much of a lie it is. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that this two groups of people, false Jews, if you will, are the ones that stole the writing of the Bible and turned it into what it is now. Into what it is now, a bastardization of the real truth. All right, they've been running the world with their own bull crap and lies. It's time to take our world back, overthrow them, get rid of them. All right, guys. I hope you'll have a good evening, later evening, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And one other thing, guys, we saw a movie, Don't Look Up. Well, I think it's time for us to start looking up and stay away from the light. Later, taters.